Hey everyone, how's it going today? Coach Danny Alvarez, Jitsu in Arlington, Texas. Today, coming at you with another very important topic that's very common that I kind of go over with a lot of my students, whether they're fairly new or kind of been in the game for a little while. It's just something that I just seem like it's repetitive, so I just kind of want to share it with you guys, like kind of what I've been through, and then kind of what I've what I've gone through. In the past, and what I've helped students deal with in the past, or what I've, had to, hear their stories and stuff like that. So let me kind of put things in perspective for you. First, if some people are in a relationship where both individuals have a passion for something, then if you're doing jiu-jitsu, things become much easier because your significant other has something that they're already doing to occupy their time, right? But for those individuals where you are the only thing that occupies your significant other's time, meaning once they get out of work, all they do is just like spend time with you, and then now all of a sudden, you find jiu-jitsu, you have jiu-jitsu in your life, and you're taking yourself out of the relationship more than normal, right? You're every day, you're either watching movies, or you're going to a movie, or you're having dinner, or you're going out to dinner, or you're doing some type of activity with your significant other. Now all of a sudden, it could be for any kind of reason. Most of the time, from what I deal with is people they're kind of tired of just being average, or they kind of let themselves go after college, after high school. They kind of want to get back in shape. They want to feel good about themselves. And, they find jiu-jitsu. And jiu-jitsu starts giving them that feeling back. It starts getting them back in shape. They're feeling good about themselves. They're around other like-minded people. They're in a positive atmosphere. So they want more of that, right? So when individuals start to take themselves out of the relationship, and now they're in jiu-jitsu class, and they're coming to jiu-jitsu for an hour and a half, hour a day, however long your jiu-jitsu class is. Here's an hour and a half. The morning classes are an hour. But, for the 6 a.m. classes, it doesn't really matter, right? Most significant others are sleeping unless they're getting ready for work. But in the evening class, that's where it becomes a problem. In the evening, now it's time to spend time with you. But instead, all of a sudden, now it's like, no, I'm sorry, I'm going to jiu-jitsu class. And then the arguments will start to happen, right? Because I'm going to let you know, like, that's what happened to me. When I first started, it was tough. It was very, very tough because, I got hooked on it. It was a good hook. It was a good addiction because of the way it made me feel physically and mentally, and the people around. My coach was very positive, gave me an atmosphere that I wasn't used to having before. And now I have this thing where it's making me a better individual, right? I feel like it's making me a better person. I want more of that, right? So then the arguments start to build, because instead of having dinner on this day, on this night, right? Now I'm going to jiu-jitsu class. Now instead of just 1 day, it's 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. And then it's like, well, what about me? What am I supposed to do? So that's why I said, if your significant other has a passion already, if they're already doing something outside of work, like they go to work and then they work out. Maybe they're a fitness, person, or they're into yoga, or they're doing some other type of whatever to occupy their time. There pretty much really isn't going to be an issue there because they're dedicated to their other craft. They're doing their hobby while you're dedicated to your craft and your hobby, which is jiu-jitsu, right? Or working out or running or whatever it is that you do. It doesn't have to be jiu-jitsu, it could be anything. But, dealing with what I deal with every day, it's jiu-jitsu. So, for me, like I said, I became addicted to the healthy atmosphere that I was introduced to, and I wanted more of that because I could see the transformation that I was going through, and I wanted more of that, and I wanted to kind of help other people with that as well. I could see how it was changing, the people around me as well too, right? So for those individuals where their significant other doesn't have it, they don't have a passion, they don't have anything else that they're doing outside of work, and you are their passion, their world revolves around you, okay? Now all of a sudden you take yourself out of their world for a couple hours out of the week, right? Then there comes the issue, right? Because before, again, let's lay down and watch a movie. Let's go to a movie. Let's have dinner. Let's go out to dinner. Let's do this. Let's do that. And now you're not doing it anymore. Now here comes the problem. So you gotta try your best to, and it's really hard because, like I said in the video yesterday, or whenever you catch a lot of these, if you don't do jiu-jitsu, you just don't understand. You don't understand what people that do jiu-jitsu are going through and what it's doing for us. Either you got to try and do it with, for anyone that's watching this that doesn't do it, either try and do it with your spouse or your significant other, or you got to try and find something else, to kind of occupy your time while they're doing that, right? Because like I try to explain to a lot of people, we're not at the bar hanging out, at the pool hall, we're not shooting darts, we're not playing, kickball after work with a case of beer, or going golfing with a case of beer with the guys, or whoever, however you want to put girls. We're not just wasting time playing a game, drinking beer and just trying to get away from, our significant other. We're using this as a way to enhance, our lifestyle, and enhance the way we look, enhance the way we think, enhance what's around us day in and day out. So it's tough because I've seen so many people that have done jiu-jitsu, it could be guy or girl, quit because of the fact that the arguments that it creates, because you are no longer in their day-to-day, all day, every day, like after work or whenever, however the situation may be, jiu-jitsu is taking time from them, right? And they're jealous of that. They might not act like it, or they might not try to act like, they're spiteful because of it, but they really are. Deep down inside, like, it's a problem. It's a problem because you're not there like you used to be there. But you're not with like someone else, right? You're not with another individual. You're with other individuals trying to get better, trying to improve your health and trying to improve your lifestyle. But for some reason, it's really, really tough for people that don't do jiu-jitsu, or they don't work out, or they don't run, or they don't do yoga, anything health and fitness wise, on that level, where it's enhancing their own lifestyle, then they can't really grasp a hold of what's going on. So what happens? Arguments start. I know for me, arguments would start just because I was gonna go to a tournament, and wife didn't want to be there all day long in an auditorium because they know what it's gonna be like, right? So over time that gets better. It does get better, or from experience, from what I've seen from other individuals, relationships just don't work out, right? Because they just can't grasp a hold of the fact that you're really trying to improve your lifestyle versus, like you're out at the pool hall, playing pool, or you're just playing a game, or you're going golfing with the guys and drinking beer, right? There's no beer in jiu-jitsu. We don't hang out, we're not smoking, not drinking, we're not staying out late after hours playing video games. I worked at General Motors for a long time at one point, and a lot of the guys after work would go get together, go to the bar, they wouldn't go home, and then they would play video games also till wee hours of the morning, right? That's not this, right? That's not this. So again, if someone has a relationship where they're already kind of in the health and fitness thing, they're doing their own thing, they're going to understand it makes things so much easier. But for whatever reason, if you don't have, your significant other doesn't have that thing for themselves, it's going to be really tough, right? But you have to stick to your guns on that, because if you know that, like I said in the video with yesterday with my daughter, I know that was good for her, so I'm just going to, hey, you're going to do it. There's no debating, no negotiating no more. I made a mistake. You're going to do jiu-jitsu no matter what. I don't care what anyone says, right? So when it comes to jiu-jitsu or anything that's enhancing your lifestyle for the better, you're becoming a better person, a better human being because of something that you're doing, You can't let anyone else take that from you or stop you from doing it. No matter how much you care for them, no matter how much you love them, you got to take care of yourself. You heard me say in the other videos before about self-care, self-help, blah, blah. If you're not taking care of yourself, if your mind isn't right and your heart isn't right and your body isn't right, then how in the heck can you take care of the other people around you, or how can you love them like you really want to love them, or like you know that you can if you're not taking care of yourself? So it's very important that when that friction starts, if it starts, because that, again, we're talking about some people, because some people, they've never worked out, they've never played a sport, they've they never had a passion, they never had anything besides their work, and that's it. And maybe that's not even their passion, maybe that's just a job that they're doing because that's just what they were told to do, and they went to school, college, whatever, they got a job, and that's it. It's putting money, it's putting food on the table, and that's it. But there are some people that don't have any of those things, right? That don't have any of those things, and you are that thing. You are everything, that world, and it revolves around, their world revolves around you like that. So you gotta somehow, some way, hang in there and keep doing the thing. Like I said, it doesn't have to be jiu-jitsu. It could be anything that is enhancing your lifestyle, that's making you a better person. Somehow fix that and explain that to them, that, hey, this is good for not only me, but for us, because I'm a better person because of this. Because I know for me, and a lot of you that are watching this could, speak from experience, there are times where I allowed that to happen at one point. And let's say I didn't go to jiu-jitsu class and I went to the movies instead. Well, now I'm not really happy. I didn't get a chance to do the thing that I wanted to do. So now I'm pouty. Like, I'm at the movies and I'm like, I'm not really watching the movie. I'm at dinner. I really don't want to eat dinner. Because why? My mind's at jiu-jitsu class. That's where I really want to be, So at one point I had to change that. I had to fix that. I said, okay, I got to make sure it's balanced, right? Or at least try to make it balanced somewhat. So this was my schedule. I didn't have, my academy at that time didn't have classes on Fridays, and there was no Sundays. So Fridays and Sundays were completely, there was no jiu-jitsu, school wasn't open. So Monday was jiu-jitsu night, right? Tuesday is family night, dinner night, sit at the table, have dinner. Wednesday, Thursday was jiu-jitsu night, right? I get out of work, General Motors, I go home, run, work out, go to jiu-jitsu class, right? Get home late. Friday, there's no jiu-jitsu, so you go out to the movies, you go out to dinner. Saturday morning's jiu-jitsu class, right? And then sometimes you get arguments too. Well, why you gotta go to jiu-jitsu class? Well, probably because you're not up yet. You're still in your PJs. I'm an early bird kind of person. I want to go run. I want to go work out. I want to go train. By the time I get done training, you'll probably just be up getting dressed anyways, right? It's going to be around noon. So what's the deal, right? Thing is, they don't want you to leave. They don't want you to leave. They don't want to see you leave. And a lot of the times, too, is when someone else sees you chasing something, you become, because this happens to a lot of people. Anyone watching that does jiu-jitsu, you become, man, because I was talking to a student earlier. I was like, man, you train a lot. It's like, man, I love this stuff. Because like all I think about this at home. That's a lot of us. A lot of us can relate to the fact that all we think about is jiu-jitsu, along with other things. But outside, when we leave, it doesn't leave, like we don't leave it inside the academy. It goes wherever we go. We're always thinking about techniques, moves, how we're going to do this, how we're going to do that. So anyways, so I had to split up my week, right? Mondays, jiu-jitsu night. Tuesday, dinner, family night. Wednesday, Thursday, I'm going to jiu-jitsu class. Friday, movie night. Saturday, train in the morning, get my self-help, my fix in. And then Saturday afternoon, go to the movies, go to dinner, go hang out, meet with some friends, do whatever. And then Sunday, there was no jiu-jitsu for me at that time, so it's more family time, right? Blah, blah. And then Monday, boom, it's ready to hit it all over again. So you got to mix it up. Like, you got to split it up somehow. Now, if you get carried away and you want to train every single day, okay, then you're creating your own problems. But if you're trying to compromise and you're making it fair for you and them, then there really shouldn't be a problem. But you got to try your best to kind of compromise with that. And you can't allow anyone to stop you from doing what's enhancing your lifestyle. I'll give you another example where jiu-jitsu causes relationship problems is with your mother. Now, I don't know about all other ethnic groups, right? But if you're Mexican, okay, and your mom invites you over for dinner and you say no, man, that's a problem. That's a problem. But that's what I had to do, right? My mom would call, hey, mijo, I made some dinner, blah, blah, blah. Can't do it. Going to jiu-jitsu class. Man, you don't know how bad I was talked about. How bad. Man, I was a bad person. I was a bad son. I was a bad whatever because mom invited me over for dinner and I wasn't coming because jiu-jitsu was more important. Now jiu-jitsu is more important. Now I love jiu-jitsu more than my mom. Now I love jiu-jitsu more than my significant other. Now I love jiu-jitsu more than my kid. Now I love jiu-jitsu more than whoever, than whatever. And it wasn't that. It's just jiu-jitsu is giving me something that none of them could give me, right? Jiu-jitsu was giving me something that no other person could give me. It's as simple as that. So I was going to get what that was giving me because it was making me better. But it gave me problems on the other end. It gave me problems with my mom and everything else, right? And they're talking about me, running their mouth like all the time. And I had to deal with that. But if I quit, I wouldn't have my academy. I wouldn't be a jiu-jitsu black belt. I wouldn't be talking to you through this video right here. So for any of you out there that are dealing with that, man, you have to. If jiu-jitsu is enhancing your lifestyle, if it's making you a better person, and it's enhancing the things around you, and you're making other people, like I know because I did jiu-jitsu, I'm enhancing so many kids' lives, so many individuals' lives. I'm enhancing so many people around me. Their lives are improving because of this place. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. It's just what it is. You see all the kids' videos we're making. You see all the interviews that I've done. People are losing weight. They're off diabetic medication. Their lifestyles are just way better because they met me and the individuals in this academy. But if I would have allowed, other people in my ear to, hey, let's just watch a movie. Hey, let's just stay home and go to dinner. Let's just go to dinner. Hey, let's just come over to my house, listen to my mom and just have dinner. And then, because what happens when you do that? You start skipping class. It becomes repetitive. I'll go next week. Next week turns into the following week. Following month. Next you know, you're missing a year. And then now you're not even doing jiu-jitsu anymore, right? So, man, it's tough. If you got to show someone, even if you show whoever that doesn't do jiu-jitsu this video, they probably still won't get it. But at least maybe they'll have like a better understanding. But they need something. They need a hobby. They need something to do. They need to go for a walk. Man, they need to, they need to try working out, do something. Because if they don't, you're going to keep having those problems. But, I just stuck to my guns with a lot of things. I'm not here to be like, oh, I'm Mr., tough guy, Mr. Big Guy, hey, I'm just telling you the truth, and I'm just trying to connect with a lot of people out there that I've been talking to lately, and I know that a lot of people out there catch these videos are probably dealing with the same thing. Like, man, I'm just going to train. I'm trying to do something better for myself, and man, they're trying to pull me from it, and now you feel like you got to make a choice. You feel like you got to make a decision between a person and jiu-jitsu. And that makes it really tough because you don't want to lose the person that you're with, but you don't want to lose jiu-jitsu either. So then what do? You're like in a rock and a hard place. But you got to try your best to try to make them understand. And so for some people, they're lucky enough they can make them help that other person understand the significance of what we're doing. And then some people just aren't having it. Like, they'll just leave. Maybe they weren't meant to be there. Maybe they were just meant to be there for a short period of time. Because understand this. If jiu-jitsu is giving you something that nothing else has given you before, then why would you quit that? That was my thing. I did all kind of sports. I boxed for a couple of years. I wrestled for a couple of years. I lifted weights for a number of years. I ran. And nothing else made me feel or gave me the satisfaction that jiu-jitsu gave me. I wasn't going to let it go. I quit other things in my life. And I'm like, man, I'm just tired of quitting things. I'm not quitting this. I'm going to get my black belt, and I'm going to see this thing all the way through. And I want to see what's on the other side of something if I don't quit, right? If I don't make an excuse and let something come in the way or a person come in the way, what's on the other side of that? And what the other side is, greatness. I've done a lot of great things through jiu-jitsu that I'm very proud of. And mainly, the biggest thing is helping other people, helping other kids, helping other parents, improve their kids' lifestyle, and helping other individuals become better fathers, better mothers. Kids become better kids at home, doing chores, getting better grades, so on and so forth. Maybe your goal isn't to be an instructor and have your own academy, but if it's enhancing your lifestyle and it's making you a better person, you gotta stick to your guns and do it. But like I said, that's only if the other person isn't doing anything. They need to do something, because just going to work and waiting for you to come home to just sit on the couch with you, I mean, that's kind of just average living, right? You want to be better than that. You want to try and go and excel and go above and beyond and do some great things. You can't really do a lot of great things sitting on the couch every night with your significant other just watching TV, watching the news. You got to get out there, do great, got to sweat, got to put in some work, chase some dreams. Like, I'm still here. I don't know how long I'm going to be here, like I said in these other videos. And until that time comes, I'm chasing everything. I want greatness. And if whoever sticks with me, they'll become great too, because that's what they're getting from me, that vibe. They're getting that drive, that feeling of like, yeah, man, I don't want to, you can't be lazy around me, because you just can't. You'll feel bad, because that's not me. That's not who I am, right? So anyways, it's a great explanation for a lot of people. Like I said, I deal with it a lot. I got to talk to a lot of individuals about their significant other and why they're giving them such a hard time about training jiu-jitsu or anything else that you're passionate about. If you're passionate about something, stick to it, stick to your guns. Try to balance it out, spend some time with them on certain days, but stick to your days. And like I said, I love my moms. I wasn't going to let her stop me from training jiu-jitsu either. Now when she invites me over, it's grilled salmon, like healthy salads, like healthy foods. Because before I wasn't going to go over anyways, because she was cooking like regular Mexican food, unhealthy food. Stuff's going to kill me, make me gain weight, throw up on the mat. So that was another reason why I wasn't going to come over. So she had to change the way she cooked in order for me to come over anyways. Now she knows, she cooks for me like that, I'll be there in a minute, as long as it's on jiu-jitsu day. I also told people, if you need help with anything, if it's an emergency, I'll be there. But if you need me, don't call me on these days, because I'll be in class, all right? So just a little something to kind of help anyone out there that's kind of dealing with some problems with the significant other in jiu-jitsu and why it's causing some friction. They need a hobby. They need to get off their butt and do some work, do something, so that you can keep chasing the thing that you want to do. And that's it. All right, you guys have a great day. We'll catch you next time.